Hey everybody, Captain B-Nard back here with another Wi-Fi battle. So, today we have a battle against Struggs, another random person offline. So, looks like they are just taking a second there to make their selection. Taking a little bit of time here. So, yeah, while we wait for them, I am going to be using the same team that I've been using in the past couple of games here. So, we'll see what they have in store for us today. Potentially. Alright, there we go. And so, yeah, looks like a pretty strong team there. Pretty interesting combination. So, I'm going to make a quick note of that team. And then we need to decide what we want to lead with. So, that is a good question. I think... actually, that's kind of a tough call, because this could go a few different ways here. But I think the best play we have is actually going to be the Omastar. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Definitely kind of a tough call on what to lead off with here. But we'll go ahead and see how that works out. Alright, so it looks like she is going to lead with the Skarmory, which is not the worst thing in the world, I guess, but also not the best thing in the world. So, yeah, I think the first thing we're going to want to do here is go ahead and throw a Stealth Rock up. And so, yeah, we're going to do that. And she does outspeed and actually goes for a taunt, so that is unfortunate for us. She was predicting the hazard, so that does kind of suck. So we can't use the Stealth Rock. This time around, she is more than definitely going to be putting up entry hazards of her own, but we're going to go ahead and fire a Scald off on this thing just to see how much damage we can get. And yeah, sure enough, she's going to go for the Stealth Rock, get that entry hazard up on us, which is not good, of course, since we don't have a way to get rid of it. Going to fire off a Scald in return, and that is actually going to go ahead and one-shot down to the Sturdy with a critical hit there, so that is pretty nice. For us, so some pretty massive damage there. So I think there's no reason for us to just not go ahead and go for another Scald here, so that's what we're going to do, as she's going to go ahead and pop a Custap Berry, which is going to let her go first, even though she was outspeeding us anyway. So she's going to get one layer of spikes up as we go ahead and fire another Scald off on this thing to go ahead and get rid of it and drop her down to 5, which is nice, but unfortunately she did get those 2 hazards up on us, which is definitely bad news, but yeah, it just kind of is what it is. So now she's going to go ahead and come in with the Electivire. So we definitely don't want to stay in on this matchup. We do have a couple of options. We do have the Electric Immunity, but she could predict that. So I think the safest thing we can do here is go ahead and switch into the Rotom, so that's exactly what we're going to do. And yeah, so we are going to go ahead and come in with that. And unfortunately, we are going to take that Stealth Rock damage there, as she is going to go for an Ice Punch. So was predicting the Flygon, so it's a good thing we came in with the Rotom. But we actually get frozen off the Ice Punch, so that is really unfortunate for us. So yeah, that pretty much means we're going to have to go for our Fire move here to go ahead and get a guaranteed Unthaw on the turn 1, which she does have some options to bring into that, but that is really the only option we have, so we're just going to click Overheat. Yeah, so things not really going our way here. She is going to go for the Switch Out, and she's going to go ahead and come in with the Latios, knowing that we're probably going to go for the Fire move. And yeah, there's that thing. And yeah, we do unthaw here and go for an overheat. It is choice specs, max special attack, so it does about half to this thing, which is actually pretty good damage there, as we do get the harsh special attack drop, so that's definitely not going to be a 2-hit KO thanks to that. But yeah, I think the best thing we can do, we definitely have to switch here. So I think the best thing we can do is actually go back to the Omastar. So that's what we are going to do, and we'll see what she wants to do. So there it is, and we are going to be taking that Stealth Rock and Spike damage, unfortunately. And she's going to go ahead and go for a Draco Meteor, which is definitely bad. And she does land that, and we are not going to be able to survive that from that range even with max HP. Going to cut her special attack harshly, but that's going to get rid of our Omastar and knock us down to 5. So definitely not good news for us. So yeah, now we need to try to bounce back off of that. So what do we want to bring in to face this thing? I think the Alakazam is going to be the best option here, so we're going to go into that. And we do have the Magic Art ability, so we're not going to be taking those hazards. So yeah, I think the best thing we can do, she's probably not going to want to stay in on this matchup. So yeah, we kind of have a choice to make. We do have some super effective attacks for this thing. But I kind of don't anticipate her wanting to stay in on this matchup here. Although maybe she will, who knows. Decisions. You know, I kind of want to play it safe just in case she does decide to stay in. So we're going to go Shadow Ball, actually. And no, she's not going to want to stay in. So we could have got more damage as she does come in with the Gliscor. So, yeah, we're going to hit this thing with a Shadow Ball. We are max special attack. So, that is going to actually take that thing down by half with a critical hit. It is going to get poisoned there with the Toxic Orb. So, yeah, now we have another choice to make. I think, based on that damage output, we might be able to take this thing out with a Psychic, although we did get a critical hit on the Shadow Ball. So it's going to be close. She may actually just probably going to protect in order to get that guaranteed turn of Toxic Recovery. So I think in light of that, we're actually going to go ahead and switch into the Machamp, predicting that. So I have to try and get ahead of her here. So we'll see as we do bring in the Machamp here. And we do take Stealth Rock and Spike damage. And she is going to U-turn, actually, so that's interesting. So that's not going to do much of anything to us, but unfortunately she does get the pivot, which is, of course, not good. So, yeah, that is going to allow her to go into whatever she wants here. And it is going to be the Clefable. So, yeah, unfortunately, we don't want to stay in on this matchup for sure. We are going to get some HP back with the leftovers, which is something, but we really don't want to stay in on this matchup. So the question is, what do we want to bring in to face this thing? And we don't have a ton of great options, honestly, but I think our best choice is going to be the Muck, so we're going to go ahead and switch to that as we'll see what she wants to do here. So there is the Muck, and we do take Stealth Rock and Spike damage, which is really starting to get annoying at this point, and she is going to go Moonblast, so we are max HP. We do take that relatively well. We do get a special attack drop, which isn't going to matter since we're a purely physical set, and then we're going to get some HP back with the leftovers here. So now we have to decide what we want to do to this thing. We could try to set up a sub. She's probably not going to want to stay in on this matchup, so I think we're going to go ahead and take the gamble and attempt to set up a substitute this turn, actually. See what she wants to do. It could backfire, and no, it doesn't actually. She is going to go for the switch, so that's actually perfect. And she is going to go ahead and switch into the Gliscor, which is kind of good for us as we go ahead and set that substitute up. So we are going to get that in, which is something, and then get some HP back from the Black Sludge, and this thing is also going to heal up with the poison heal, which is of course not good. So unfortunately, we don't have much to do to this thing. The best thing we can do is actually hit it with a payback and hope that it attacks us. So that's exactly what we're going to do. And she is going to go for the Earthquake. So that will definitely break our substitute. Yeah, indeed it does. But we are going to be able to hit this thing with a max attack payback in return. And how much damage is it going to do? Not nearly enough to take this thing out, unfortunately. But yeah, we are going to get some HP back with the Black Sludge, as this thing will get some HP back with the Poison Heal. So, unfortunately, we cannot stay in on this matchup. We really have nothing to do to this thing. Kind of have a choice to make. We could switch in. We do have 2 ground immunities. So, yeah, it's going to be a difficult decision here. I think the best thing we can do is actually come in with the Flygon. So that is what we're going to do. We're going to try to see if we can get something going with the Flygon here. But breaking through has been difficult. So we're going to go ahead and come in with that. And we are going to take that Stealth Rock damage, as she is going to Earthquake again. So we are going to get a free switch there, as this thing is going to get a turn of Poison Heal recovery once again. So once again, we're going to have a choice to make here. We could try to set a Dragon Dance, although might be a little premature to do that, since she does still have the Clefable up, and even at +1, I don't think an Earthquake could take that Clefable out. So this is going to be a difficult choice here. There is a chance she could protect for some Poison Heal recovery. She may not go straight to the Clefable. But yeah, this is a difficult choice here. What do we want to do? She's probably gonna go to the Clefable if I had to guess. But you know what? I think we're gonna actually go for an Earthquake here. We're gonna predict the Clefable coming back in, and no, she actually does stay in, so that's actually really bad. And we outspeed Earthquake this thing, which of course doesn't do anything. Because it is Flying type, and then she gets a U-turn. So that did not work out the way we wanted it to at all, unfortunately. So yeah, and then she gets the chip damage into the Masquerain, and she's going to go ahead and get an Intimidate to cut our attack. So things not going the best of ways for us right now. We don't really want to stay in on this thing. So I think we're going to go ahead and go back to the Rotom here, actually, as it is. It does resist both the stab moves on this thing. So yeah, there is the Rotom Heat. We are going to be taking Stealth Rock damage, which does put us below half, unfortunately. And then she is going to go ahead and get a Sticky Web up. So the hazards are just really killing us here this game. I think... yeah, now I think... What do we want to do here? She still does have the Electric Immunity on tap, so going for Volt Switch, pretty unsafe. So I think the best thing we can do is actually just go for the Overheat again, so that's what we're going to do. And no, she's actually going to stay in and U-turn, and not going to do too much damage to us, but we are still pretty low, and she is going to get the switch, so it's going to depend on what she wants to bring in here. And it is going to be the Gliscor, so we are going to get this thing with a Choice Specs Max Special Attack Overheat, and that is going to go ahead and get rid of that Gliscor. We do take a Harsh Special Attack drop, but we get rid of the Gliscor and knock her down to 2, so that is pretty critical for us. That Gliscor was a huge problem for our team, so that is out of the way. So, yeah, that's something going our way, so we will see what she wants to bring in response to that. And it is going to be the Latios. So unfortunately at this point, I think the best thing we can do is actually just let Rotom go down, because we might be able to survive another Stealth Rock switch in, but probably not. So yeah, or maybe it's going to put us low, so I think we're just going to go ahead and click Overheat, and yeah, she's just going to go Draco Meteor, so we really don't have a switch to that, unfortunately. So yeah, that Draco Meteor will definitely take the Rotom out from that range, as this thing is going to take a harsh special attack drop once again. And yeah, that will get rid of the Rotom, knocking us to 4 as well. So, yeah, now we have to decide what we want to bring in to face this thing. Good question. So, you know, I think the best we can do, you know, she is sitting at -2. Unfortunately, we do have a lot of psychic weaknesses on this team, even though she still is sitting at -2. She might very well be choice 2, though. So you know what? I think we're going to have to take a gamble here, and we're going to go ahead and come in with the Machamp. So we are going to take all those hazards, unfortunately. And yeah, that is not a good time, obviously. So, yeah, I think she's probably not going to want to stay in here, so we're just going to go ahead and go for a knockoff to hit whatever she does leave in. And indeed, she does go for the switch, and she's going to be coming in with the Clefable again, unfortunately, so there it is. And yeah, we are going to hit this thing with a max attack knockoff. So that is going to do a pretty decent chunk of damage, about a third. We get another crit, actually, which is pretty nice. And get rid of a Choice Scarf on this thing. So the Choice Scarf Clefable, that is actually pretty interesting. You don't see that every day. We get some HP back with the leftovers. So yeah, but even so, not the greatest of situations for us. I think the best thing we can actually do at this stage is go ahead and switch in the Muck here once again, and see what she wants to do. We do need to kind of conserve Machamp a little bit, so there is the Muck. And we are going to take all those hazards, unfortunately, and the Sticky Web, of course. So it is a bad time for us there, as she's going to go ahead and Moonblast again. And yeah, that is going to knock us all the way into the red, 22 HP. Special attack drop again, not going to matter again. And yeah, we get some HP back with the Black Sludge. So it is going to be really close, actually, as to whether or not we can take another Moonblast from this thing. But I think we obviously have no choice but to stay in and go Poison Jab here and see what she wants to do. She may or may not stay in. We don't know. But yeah, that's pretty much all we can do at this point. So, we'll see what she wants to do here. And she is not going to stay in. Okay, so she's going to go for the switch, and she's going to come in with the Electivire. So, that's actually not too bad for us. We're going to get a Poison Jab on this thing, max attack, and it is going to knock this thing into the red, and we do get the poison, actually, so that's actually really good for us, getting that poison. We get some HP back with the Black Sludge, and then the Electivire going to take some poison damage. Not quite enough to take it out, but yeah, that actually worked out really well for us. So yeah, but unfortunately, I don't think we can really do much of anything at this point. Unfortunately, we're probably just going to have to let Muck go down here, so we're just going to stay in and click Poison Jab again. That's all we can really do as she goes Ice Punch, just in case we decide to switch. And we can definitely not survive that from that range, so that is going to finish our Muck off and knock us down to 3, as the Electivire is going to go down from the Poison, and that is going to knock her down to 3. So this is pretty close right here. We have an empty battlefield, so we both get this blind switch in, and this is going to be critical for us. Yeah, so she's got the Clefable, the Latios, and the Masquerain left, I believe. So, and we have the Alakazam, the Machamp, and the Flygon. So this is going to be critical. I think our best bet here is actually going to be the Alakazam. I think that's going to be our best hope at this point. So we're going to come in with Alakazam, as she is going to come in with Latios. So that kind of works out for us, actually, because we are Choice Scarf with, or I'm sorry, Choice Focus Sash with the Alakazam. We do get the speed drop off the Sticky Web, which sucks, which means we're not going to be able to outspeed this thing more than likely, but we do have the super effective coverage on hand for this thing, so we are just going to go ahead and go Shadow Ball here. as we'll see what she wants to do. And time is running low, as you just saw there a second ago. So this one is coming down to the absolute wire here. And so, yeah, we're going to see what she wants to do. So she's actually not going to stay in, so that's kind of interesting. She's going to go ahead and switch to the Masquerain. So she's going to get the Intimidate to cut our attack. Not going to matter since we are a special set. And we are going to go ahead and hit this thing with a max special attack Shadow Ball, which is going to do some decent chip damage, knocking it down a little above half. So the question now for us is going to be, do we want to switch or do we want to stay in with the Alakazam? So unfortunately, she is going to be outspeeding us. We know that. I think all things considered, she's probably going to U-turn. She outspeeding with a U-turn, and that could be bad news. So no matter what we do here, it's going to be a sizable risk. But I think the best thing we can do is actually go ahead and come in with the Flygon. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go to the Flygon here. We won't be taking as much hazard damage or get the speed reduction. So yeah, we're going to take the Stealth Rock damage, and she is going to Bug Buzz, actually. So that is going to do a lot of damage, actually. That's going to take us down to 19 HP in the red. So that is bad news. Also, it looks like the game is going to be almost over at this point. I think the best thing we can do is go Stone Edge. I don't know if we're going to outspeed this thing. We do outspeed, and we land a Stone Edge. Thank Jesus. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and Stone Edge, take that Masquerain out, knocking her to 2, and we're just barely going to survive the Life Orb damage there with 4 HP in the red. So that is absolutely incredible turn of events for us. Flygon coming back in here. So we take the lead at 3-2 at this point. The Latios comes back in. So at this point, all we really have to do, because time is up on the battle here, we know Alakazam is Focus Sash, so really the only thing we have to do at this point is go ahead and switch in with the Alakazam, survive whatever attack this thing throws to us, and then time is going to run out, and we should get the win here. So we come in with the Alakazam, no hazard damage thanks to Magic Guard, Sticky Web speed reduction. It actually goes for a Psychic, which is not going to do too much damage to the Alakazam. And time is up, and that is game. Alright, so we're going to get a 3-2 win there over Struggs. But that was actually a really close match. Very competitive. High-octane game right there. So you do hate to see the game come to the timer, but unfortunately that is just kind of the nature of the beast here with these Gen 8 games and that limited 20-minute timer. But sometimes it screws you over, sometimes it works to your advantage, and yeah, at this point in time, it definitely did help us, although based on the remaining Pokemon, even if the timer weren't up, I'd have to say we were still in pretty decent shape to win that game, although it would have, obviously, I think it still would have been anyone's game at that point, had it not been for the timer, but yeah, just a great match nonetheless. So, that's it. Thanks for watching again, everybody. Hope you all enjoyed. Please hit that like button, leave a comment, and or subscribe if you did enjoy, and stay tuned for more new battles in the future. So, that's it, and we'll see you next time.